Matt Murdock's Daredevil had one scene in Spider-Man No Way Home. The scene was great for introducing the character into the film and the MCU continuity. But as we've learned over the last couple weeks, there was extended and alternative sequences with the character. Now we learn more details about him warning Peter about the life of being a vigilante. So we knew very early on, before we ever got to the film, that Tom Holland was excited for people to see a scene where him and 3 other characters are sitting around the table talking about what it means to be a superhero, what it means to be a villain, what it means to be a vigilante, and how that impacts your whole life. Of course, people speculated that this could be one of numerous characters or multiple characters we've never heard of before. We then would learn that this would be the scene where Matt Murdock would be showing up, but of course, everything that he mentioned that they talked about is missing. Recently, we did discover that alternative takes and extended / way longer versions of this scene with Matt Murdock were scrapped in favor of this quick one that just kind of gets the point across of who he is. So according to what we know and somebody that I talked to as well that informed me about some of the details on this scene, there would have been more, about 3-ish minutes, maybe a little bit more, in regards to them sitting around the table talking. The choice to cut the scene down was actually made because the flow of the film and how fast they had to get to the next act to start setting up the multiverse, thus they had to cut a lot of Matt Murdock material. So essentially, he comes in and he's like, look, I know you're innocent, I know a thing or two about being a vigilante, I've worked with them, as you've seen, I know about them. There's other things I know that I can't really reveal to you. But I know you're innocent, and I know you're trying to do the best thing. But the vigilante life is hard, especially on those around you, because it will cause you pain and suffering. Obviously, he's referencing the events from the 3 seasons we saw, and the loss that Matt Murdock has suffered. But then he says that even though that's all true, that vigilantes still help others, including trying to help the villains and not take it to the next step, because that's what heroes do. Again, I love this scene. I can confirm with a couple people that this is the direction that they went in. And unfortunately, yes, it was cut, but it's awesome because he's almost hitting upon that with great power, great responsibility type of thing without saying it. It's a major factor for Daredevil as well. And obviously talking about how far you're willing to go without going too far, which again goes back and ties it to the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home, where he's about to end Green Goblin, but he doesn't. And that's the key here. It all kind of, takes it back to this type of mentality and the vigilante thing and what you're willing to do and stand for. So I love this scene. Hopefully, this is one version. I know Marvel Studios never does it, but I really want the director's cut of this film that's just 3 hours and puts all this back in, just so we can see all of the amazing footage that they cut. And trust me, I know I have a couple more scenes that you guys would love to hear about, but until somebody else talks about it, I'm afraid to say anything, so I'll remain quiet. And somebody else can risk themselves, and then I'll talk about it after when they say it, so don't have to worry about it.